Today I played some Totem Shaman and had a nice 8-2 record. My inspiration was the new mini set card Backstage Bouncer, which is not a totem but a beast. It's a 4-mana 4/5 with taunt that transforms a friendly minion into a copy of this minion. Well, Totem Shaman often has a bunch of garbage in play, and with Carving Chisel in particular, it's pretty easy to activate this on curve. But Totem Shaman also has a really nice way to hand buff this card with Stereo Totem, a 2-mana 0/3 that at the end of your turn gives a minion in your hand +2/+2. And if we can land that buff on the Backstage Bouncer, then the copy of the Bouncer also gets the buff, so we basically get to double dip on our Stereo Totem. And we have another new card, the Remixed Totem Carver, a 3-mana 3/2 that has 4 different possible effects, each of which summons a collectible totem, one of which is going to be Stereo Totem to hopefully buff the Backstage Bouncer. It can also summon the new Jukebox Totem, a 0/4 that at the end of the turn summons a Silverhand Recruit. I opted not to include this in the actual deck list, but it is pretty good when it comes strapped to a 3/2. If you did want to make room for the Jukebox Totem, Party Animal would probably be the cut, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to play a little bit more hand buff for the Backstage Bouncer, and a couple more beasts to help me justify including the One-Amalgam Band, a 7-mana legendary that gains a random effect for each minion type we've played throughout the game. And then finally, we've of course got all the classic Totem Shaman stuff, the most powerful of which is going to be the Stone Right, a 4-mana legendary that gives all of our totems for the rest of the game +2 power. I think I'm pretty happy to keep the Stereo Totem, and Eyesore's pretty good as well. Party Animal. Lots of hand buffs if I manage to find the frog. And I found the frog. No Renathal for the opponent, by the way. I'm guessing that they're probably a Death Rattle deck. Although maybe they're just playing Frost, trying to hit Legend before the end of the season. The Stereo Totem lives, and I found a great target for it. Definitely have to play Eyesore over Party Animal here for sure. Get the Eyesore buff going. And I did land the buff here, although probably don't want to get rid of a Stereo Totem to copy it, but maybe I do. I don't know.
Who here can spell Zinjari? Anybody?
Well, that's a good card. And another frog buff. Best draw on my deck is probably going to be Tour Guide. Make a 2/2 totem and 2 6/7s.
Pick me!
Wow, that was pretty strong. Wow, this thing is a 4/5. (9/10) Backstage Bouncer. That is probably coming down next turn.
Reach for the skies!
So I can make a totem and then hit it with Backstage Bouncer, Or I can play Party Animal and hit it with Backstage Bouncer. Or actually, with Totemic Evidence, maybe I make a totem and then just get rid of this one. Because it's nice to have a totem in play. Yeah, and this is going to be a 2-2 anyway, right? So yeah, this is the way to do it. Pretty strong frog. These frogs do unfortunately get frozen by Frostworm's Fury, but they have taunt and I'm at 26, so I think they're still putting in a lot of work. Oh, that's not undead, huh? Got myself a nice little tour guide, which I guess I play here. So I should hero power here. Unfortunately, it makes my board asymmetrical, which is kind of ugly, but having a 3-1 is probably pretty good. Okay, Frostworm's Fury has to target a minion here because they're just so far from lethal. I'm at 26. Nice, nice, nice. Probably a good chance of a Shaman Mirror. Or of a Totem Shaman Mirror, more specifically. I mean, these cards are all good. They're not Stone Right, though. But they're probably all good. Carving Chisel is definitely the best card in my deck, but the other two are more questionable. So do I want to coin Chisel? Probably better off just going Tour Guide. They didn't use their hero power. Maybe they have an anchored totem coming up, or maybe I just don't know how to play Totem Shaman. I feel like I want the minion in play, though. Yeah, I mean, I think this game is just already over. Pretty good Flame Tongue Totem, though, actually. As long as they don't hit another Taunt Totem, I can get through here. And I do have Chisel to start discounting these things. Maybe I'm not in that bad of a spot. Okay. I can play an Amalgam of the Deep myself. But I think Chisel's probably just the way to go. Of course, I can't get a Taunt Totem. It's amazing how each of our first hero powers decided so much in this game. I got a Searing Totem that just died, and they got a Taunt Totem that protected an anchored totem. I guess I'm playing Flame Tongue here. Getting a random totem and playing a thing from below. I don't really know if any of these matter. Maybe I just put the damage there. Hey, that's 2 mana that's not putting minions in play. Wow, what a terrible turn from the opponent. How is such a bad turn even possible? I'm definitely frogging here. I think the O2 is my worst minion. I just like having things that can attack. Is my opponent's hand, like, double thing from below, double Gigantotem or something? Maybe a Rotgill in there. There's a Gigantotem. Speaking of Gigantotem, I think I play one of those here, maybe? Maybe I want a Famished Fool. I guess I'll go Famished Fool. Insane reload for next turn. I think there's actually a very high likelihood they have a Rotgill in hand. Or a Bloodlust or something like that, just because of how bad their turns have been. So I think killing random little recruits is pretty good. This is up to 5. I've played 3 Amalgams, a Frog. Have I played a Totem? What is the 5th one that I played? Probably something I hit off of an Amalgam of the Deep, right? So it's probably a Totem. So this probably doesn't get much bigger, but man, it's just so much better to play double 8/8 plus other stuff than this here. Alright, good turn. Wow, I'm really surprised I won this game with how bad the early turns were. But it seems like my opponent just drew a bunch of situational garbage.
Morgul versus Jaina.
I do like a Stereo Totem. The more I play with this deck, the less I like Eyesore. Does it have good mulligan stats? It has very good mulligan stats. So I guess I'm keeping it. Super, super good hand. Let's get some buffs. I think Eyesore is a pretty good one. Makes it have 6 health, so definitely more likely to survive multiple turns.
Excuse me, over here.
Paparazzi. So I could play Stone right here, but it's probably better to Hero Power so I can get a buff out of the Eyesore. Another One-Amalgam band. These are all pretty good. I think I want One-Amalgam band.
Here for the tour. Here for the tour.
Well, Eyesore's dying here, but it did its job. I guess I don't mind trading some board here. The Glacial Shard Paparazzi deck. This can go here. Sure. Sure. So these do only get 3 keywords, but the second one gets 4, because the first one Amalgam Band buffs it. And even with just a few keywords, they are pretty good, and they're also just huge because of Eyesore. Mistake. Probably should just go ahead and play one of these, though. No rush. Probably a good sign, because it's not... Oh my god, I got Stealth Wind Fury. But they can have Blizzard, they can have Solid Alibi. Although neither of those really permanently deal with this Stealth Wind Fury problem. Was that worth it? I mean, I guess it depends entirely on what the other options were. Okay, this one gets rush, but if it also has stealth, I probably don't rush. But it does not also have stealth, so I will rush. I'm showing 55 damage, so good luck. I guess I'm not really, because this freezes here and this hero power's here. So that cuts out a lot of my damage. Absolutely insane card to discover. Please don't get double deadly shot. I love being frozen every fucking turn. It's so fun. Well, Rockgill is really strong. And it lands some buffs on my Stealth Wind Fury minion. So even if they kill other stuff, that can just be lethal. Probably the best card I could have drawn here. That is awfully slow. But they have Solid Alibi, so it's okay. The 6/6 is surprisingly annoying to kill. I guess 5/2 in here, and then this gets buffed up big enough to kill it. And I think I do want to kill it, because this thing has Wind Fury, and it's nice to protect. This is out of Flame Strike range. Is Flame Strike even in the game? I don't know. Oh, that's a super low roll. I can't believe... Why didn't they just play that earlier? It was so good earlier. Nice. Well, I think these are the 2 best cards off my mulligan, so pretty happy to see those. Hey, it's Party Animal, which is probably my 9th best card off the mulligan, purely guessing. Because obviously the list I'm looking at does not have a Party Animal in it. Wonder how the Paladin matchup is. Seems bad, but I don't know. I'm just a Paladin hater, so I feel like every matchup into Paladin is bad. It is slightly Paladin favored, it's not that bad. But when they draw that card, it's probably much more Paladin favored. Because that card is not properly balanced. What can you even do to this card? I mean, I guess you can just make it cost 3. I feel like maybe it should just be a 2-1 weapon. It's Totem Paladin. How exciting. Nice, healing totem is quite good. I did get this totemic evidence, and I have 3 totems in play. So next turn could actually be hero power, evidence, hit with weapon, play Gigantotem. But if they don't kill this O2, it's gonna be hard to do that. Probably no reason to do this. God, this 9 health minion is fucking huge. Next turn I can play Rotgill for maybe 3 minions. Not that good, honestly. Probably just go for the Gigantotems. Hey, it's another balanced weapon. Not a very good 2-3 though. I think this turn is just pretty straightforward. I think I'm winning now. That is really strong. I'm going face. Wait, are you dead to Rotgill? You're definitely dead to Rotgill, right?
Stormwind welcomes you.
You've been totemed.